we live? Is it working? Okay, a little more volume. Okay, testing. Okay, testing. You can hear me all the way back here? Sorry, I'm a little disheveled here. I'm making a murder board. I don't really need to apologize for looking a little schlubby right now. Just making sure that the stream's working, even though no one's here yet. I'm making a murder board. I don't need to apologize for looking a little schlubby right now. Let's see. Real quick, gonna send out the link. But it's working. There's like a little bit of a delay for me on the. It's working. There's like a little bit of a delay for me. Okay. So, first things first, I'm still trying to print stuff out for this, so yeah, I'm not really worried about how many people are going to show up to this, or the je ne sais quoi of this being a very well put together thing. But once I get into it, we're gonna have some fun here. Come on. You need to print. Not this being a very well put together. But once I get into it, we're gonna. It would be really unfortunate if I could not connect to the printer. As you can see, this is not the same location as the short I made yesterday. As you can see, this is not the same location as the short I made yesterday. Add printer. There it is. Add device. Connecting. There it is. Add device. should be able to get this off the ground. Hey, single viewer. I don't know if that's me or not, but hi. You should be able to see chat. Chat should be this way. It's over here. Hey, single viewer. I don't know if that's me or not, but hi. You should be able to see chat. Chat should be this way. Here. I have a delay in which when I can see myself. Yeah. If you would be so kind as to like type something into the chat to make sure I did that right, I have a delay in which I'd be super thankful. Wait a minute, I can do it. I'm dumb. My brain doesn't work sometimes. I lost all my marbles trying to do this. Ding. 1, 2, 3. Does that show up? I'm dumb. My brain doesn't work sometimes. I lost all my marbles trying to do this. Let's see. And oh, great! It's like not. Oh, hey, Julie. What's up? Oh, okay, OBS. You failed me. There we go. Oh, great! It's like not. Oh, thanks. Hey, Julie. What's up? Okay. There we go. Okay, that should fix it. Let's see. There it goes. There we go. Okay. Now, can I print correctly? Thanks. Alright. There we go. So there's been a slew of technical difficulties in getting to this point, including, but not limited to, the fact that this is not my house. Also, there's like a, I want to say like a 10, 15 second delay. Yo, good luck, Josh. Oh, I shouldn't be saying names. I'm sorry. I'm tired. I didn't sleep last night. Go figure. Okay, so I need to print in grayscale. Dang, unfortunate. No, don't print output. I just need you to print to a printer. Print to printer, please. Dang, unfortunate. I tried. Okay, I have insomnia. Give me a break. I have to step away into the void. I tried. This isn't my printer. I'm not used to how this works. But yeah, you see this big whiteboard? This can fit so many conspiracy theories. Dang. But yeah, you see this big whiteboard? It fits so many conspiracy theories. How does printer work? No, don't save print output. I've already saved. I already have it. Adobe, I'm not trying to print to Adobe. I'm trying to print to a printer. I've already saved. I already have it. Adobe, I'm not trying to print to Adobe. I'm trying to print to a printer. Okay, maybe we'd try a different approach. We print like this. No, don't save. Don't. I'm not trying to make a new PDF with a PDF that I already have. What? Go home, Adobe. You're drunk. I'm not trying to make a new PDF with a PDF that I already have. I'm not trying to make a new one. I love technical difficulties. This is fantastic. Oh, okay. I can mute that now. I had it playing audio because I wasn't sure if the microphone was working or not, and I forgot to turn it off. Why isn't the printer printing? Why does the printer not want to print? Printer, what are you doing? I'm not even hearing noises from it. I might need to call in some assistance. Okay. Shoot. We're doing it live, okay? It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. I'm gonna make this work. Hello. So I'm live. I'm currently trying to still get the printer to print. I keep hitting print to the printer from Adobe, and it's doing like a progress bar and then disappearing, and then nothing is It's solved through the power of parenting. Thank you, Father. And the fact that it's his printer. I don't need my mouse. I'm using the trackpad. Okay, I'm just gonna print directly from his computer, and that should work. Do this here. Do this here. Boom. Ah. Okay. Da 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 da. Doing it live. Doing it live. Doing it live. You know, I really wanted to have this done last night, but I ran into technical difficulties, so this is the best we can do, baby! Here, which USB. Boyfriend. Print. Is it working? I'm hearing printer noises. Where go? Okay. Shish kebab's working now. Okay, so I'm gonna run through YouTube intro stuff now, and then we can actually get into the how this is gonna work. All right. Hello, heroes. My name is ChangerHero, but you can call me Grady, and it has been, dear God, 2 years since I've said that. Very quickly, refresher, what's happened in the last 2 years? College. A lot of college. Working. Not for a whole lot of money, sadly. Car accident. Technically plural. And a lot of work on a video essay, which has been written for months now. I'm just trying to do the editing, the art, the animation. I need to redo the voiceover probably too. It's been a lot. I felt weird about working on song art instead of working on the art for the more complicated thing. But I'm almost there. This is gonna kick me into high gear. I was already in as high gear as I could probably get to, but we're gonna make this work. So what the heck is happening today? Well, yesterday I put out a short. That short basically said what I just said just now, only the big difference is it said, we're streaming today. I did not say what I was streaming in the short, other than Murder Board. But as you can probably see, Julie, my only current viewer at this moment in time, because you're my friend, thank you, or anybody watching the VOD, in the off chance that you're crazy, over here, right? I'm pointing to the right thing now. We're talking about Void Stranger. We're talking about a video game. And you can also see the chat up here, or whatever. That's all fun and games. Void Stranger is a lot. It's a lot. My brain hurts. My brain hurts so much. Like, I'm not joking, y'all. It's a lot. I've spent like 80 hours into it, and I'm still probably not, no, not even probably, I know I'm not done yet. Like, we're not even, like, close, okay? Now, there are people who could do it faster, sure. Though, at the same time, there's a guy on YouTube named Dr. Brian, no relation to my father, who is on what, 83, 84 videos on this so far? Like, that's crazy. That's, like, actually crazy. I'm gonna go grab the thing from the printer and we can get this started. Yeah, I gotta hop over an exercise thingy. I just realized I also need scissors. Why do I forget? Wait, no, there's scissors over there. I'm a fool. I'm a foolish fool who is foolishly fooled. Okay. I hope these are big enough. We're gonna just cut these. Oh wow, these are a lot smaller than I thought they'd be. It's fine. We're doing it live. I'll make it work. Okay. So while I cut these out, what the heck is Void Stranger? Void Stranger is a Sokoban style game or sliding box puzzle. Basically, if you've ever seen those like those puzzles where you like move the tiles, like you can't take them out of the puzzle and there's always like one empty space and you're just kind of shifting things until they're in the right orientation so that you get the image. It's that. That's like the most basic one. This is a lot more complicated. Even before all the crazy. These are really a lot smaller than I thought they would be. Why I did not think this through. But you know what? Looking before you leap is kind of an important facet of this. Yeah. You'd think with all the arts and crafts I've done with elementary schoolers, I would be better at this. But I'm not. There's going to be a lot on the cutting room floor here. So, why have I lost my mind playing Void Stranger? That's because Void Stranger is ridiculously deep. It's a game made by, I think the art and visuals are made predominantly by two guys. Now, I'm pretty sure the music, or some of the music is done by another person, and there's like some other tantamount. But the studio itself, the indie studio itself, is predominantly, I think, 2 people. If not, please correct me. Please correct me. There's not enough people here watching this video who know anything about this game to do that. But if you are in the future, please correct me. I'd love to know. So Void Stranger is about a lot of things. It goes through a lot of genres. And so the most difficult thing for me to figure out, really, apart from opening up an expo marker so we can actually start putting things on the murder board, is where to start. Because this is a labyrinthian endeavor to understand just what the hell is going on here. I always hate trying to open a cardboard thingy because I'm gonna clean up afterwards. I promise. I'm not that messy. Let's see how well this shows up on camera. I did not do a test for how visible things on this board will be. So, as I was saying, there's a bunch of places to start. Like a lot of places we could start. But I'm going to take a page. I didn't get an eraser. I always forget something. This easel is also really flimsy. I put it together last night. They gave me the wrong parts for it. So, if it falls, it's the end of the stream. Unless maybe I do karaoke at the end, which is entirely possible. Okay. But there is a bunch of places we can start, and I'm going to take a page out of The Good Doctor's book and kind of start from a similar place and chronological order as to him. But, really quick, just to give you an idea of... Also, I need to sit down a little bit so that I can see this a little better. I might have to move the board closer, which is entirely possible, and I might do. I think I'm going to do that really quick. Pray to God this thing doesn't collapse. It's creaking. Are we still good? Okay, now we're a little lopsided. We need to move. This way. Okay. It's blurry. Yeah, I know it's a little blurry. That's why I'm trying to move it closer, because it's a little bit of it's a challenge. Now the board's up. I would move the camera instead, but I'm worried I won't be able to get it to stick to one position. Okay, and I have to check myself here. Now it's really... Okay, So it's closer to this side. I need to move it over here. I might just have to pick the entire board up and then readjust the easel. This is probably... Yeah, we're getting there. This is, we're doing it live. This is gonna happen. It's a little closer. I want it a little bit more. This thing is really dangerous now that I think about it. Okay. Operation, we're going to try moving the table instead at this point. Because I don't want to be doing checks like this the whole time. Oh, yeah, that was hard. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's way easier now. Okay. Okay. This continues to be just as complicated to set up as it was to research. Okay, I can't put that down. Okay. We're gonna get there. this might just have to be it. I think we're gonna have to just stick here. This is about the best we can do. The one color of marker I don't have is black. That seems like an error on my part. Okay, Void Stranger. Back on track. Where the hell do we start? There's... Checking my notes here. But I'm so lost in the sauce that I don't even need to, really. Void Stranger, as far as how we talk about it, can start in a bunch of places. We could start at the beginning of the game. We could start at the beginning of the story for the characters involved. We could start at the actual start of the timeline in the game. Or we could start at the start of the timeline. Why did I separate those two things? Well, 60 hours into this game, I realized there's a whole other game involved. Zero Ranger, the studio's only other game, at least that I know of, which is also very complicated. A little less complicated, because Void Stranger, like I said, is a Sokoban puzzle game with some other fun elements added in. Zero Ranger is a bullet hell vertical scrolling shooter. I'm not good at those, but we made it through anyway. Now, have I completed either game 100% at this point of me doing this? No. Am I gonna get to the very deepest point of this story? Also, no. This is just this is an iceberg. This is the tip of the iceberg here. So if we were to start at Zero Ranger, right? Zero Ranger for our timeline. Here's how that would also look. So we had start of Void Stranger, start of the characters in Void Stranger, start of the entire timeline of Void Stranger, start at the beginning of Zero Ranger, start at the beginning of the character's story in Zero Ranger, which is actually just like one cutscene before the start of the game, I think, so like not super complicated. Start of the timeline of Zero Ranger. Or start of the other timeline of Void Stranger. Or start at the third timeline of Void Stranger. Or start at the start of time in Zero. I think I switched to saying Void Stranger. What this section was about Zero Ranger. That's how complicated it is. Also, it's very funny that both games end with Ranger. They rhyme. I'm pretty sure there's some post, like end of the game, like the majority of the game stuff in Void Stranger that's like fun, goofy, joking on that, riffing on that. Suffice to say, this is complicated. This is a lot. This is why we're murder boarding it. Murder boarding. So where do we start? Well, like I said, I'm gonna take a page from someone who's already been piecing stuff together, because frankly, there is not a video on YouTube that fully puts everything together. This will not be that video either, but we're gonna make a big dent in it today. So, I'm gonna tell you essentially how the game starts. Also, this is your warning. Please, dear God, play this game. Now, if you are already in this stream, you're probably only here because you know me. Alright? Also, I am reacting to chat in the case that you aren't someone that I know personally. Hello, I'm Grady. I'm a little nutty. And, yeah, this is new. This is not a normal thing. But you're doing yourself a disservice. But obviously, if you're here because you're my friend, thank you. Maybe just keep the stream on in the background, who cares? But if you really don't care and you don't think you're going to play this game, Fine. Fine. You can join in. I will take questions at any point if it can help make things clearer for you. And in the off chance that anyone pops in that actually knows what they're talking about more than me, please save me. Please. 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 So, Void Stranger, start of the game. We open on a shot of a black star sinking down upon the planet Earth in a spectacular fashion. There's like a little light show when it actually connects. From there, we are introduced to our main character of the hour, a lady. I'm gonna have to sit here and make sure that you can kind of see this properly, because I printed these way too small. Man, I really should have gone with a black marker, because blue is kind of still hard to see. Okay, so I'm gonna just try to get this right so that you can kind of see it. This is gray, all right? I wish the camera would refocus. Maybe if I move out of the way, it'll try to not focus on my face. This is gray. This is, camera, please. This is really unfortunate. Wait a minute, I'm a dummy. I have OBS open. Why don't I just we're doing it live, so that you can. We're going to, if I export this as PNG, void one PNG, and we go in here, we browse, void one PNG, done. Okay, there we go. So I'll just pop this open here and there, so that you guys can get better visuals of the images that I'm putting on here. But this is great. I'll just leave that picture up there for right now while I stick this up here on the board. So this is gray. We open on a shot of her walking through like a lightly forested, kind of plainsy looking area. It's not very like detailed background. But we just see her walking in to frame, and she's got some very dour looking eyes. She's not looking like she's having a real fun time. So this is great. Okay? Right? So gray, as she's walking, because she's walking with a purpose, she's got somewhere to be, all right? She's walking along, she comes along upon a perfectly square hole in the ground, way bigger than, you know, just like, it's just like a kid. No, this is like wider than the camera can focus on. This is like 3 or 4 people, or like maybe 2 or 3 people's width with their like wingspan. hole in the ground, okay? Just there. It's just a hole in the ground. All right? What does this woman do? She's dressed in some kind of like, shit. We're good. I can fix it. This was going to happen. This was going to happen. We're good. We're good. Okay. At least it didn't break. I think. Okay, so while I put this together, back together, we're going to talk about this. So Gray, what does she do? Well, she jumps into the hole. She is, she doesn't take shish kebab from no one, including mysterious holes in the ground. There we go. Just tighten this up a little bit. So she just jumps. She jumps into the hole, lands. We get a title card called Void Stranger Gray. In the background of it, it's just like black, and then the words Void Stranger, and then like a silhouette of her, and then in all of like the white space is a horde of locusts flying by, which becomes more relevant as we move along, as I repair the board. This was gonna happen. I was prepared for this. That'll be a clip. At least I'm not hurt. So great! She comes down into this hole. She lands in level 1, or floor 1. Floor 1 of the void, really. And that, dear viewers, and I gotta reapply all the marker. Great. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take this moment to actually align the easel the way I want it. Right here. Okay. All right. Take 2. Here we go. Mama didn't raise no quitter. But she did raise someone who went to Michael's and definitely was given bad information by the guy at Michael's. And now it's too close. Now it's too close. Fantastic. Doing it live, baby! This is what happens when you do it live. I should maybe throw on some music, because this is going to be a struggle. I have a feeling. I told my dad before I did this that this was either going to be, it was going to go perfect, go fantastically, or it was going to be a train wreck. I'm starting to think we are in the train wreck timeline, but it's fine. We'll make it work. I think. Okay. We're all good. Okay? Just gonna pick a song from the OST and we'll go with that for now. Oh, my microphone got knocked over too in the process. Great, love that, love that. We're still live though, we're still kicking. I'm trying, okay? Damn! I am. Listen. This was gonna be scuffed. I knew this was going to be scuffed. I'm not surprised. Okay? My technical abilities are better than my logistical ones, okay? Okay? This was like $10 at Michael's. We're working on a budget here. Let's do just an audio source. No input. We can do this. This might be double audioing. On the oh yeah, cute doggo. Window capture. Oh, you know what? It might not even be. You know what? We could just do. Yeah. We could just. You could probably hear it from the reverberations of the thing itself into the microphone. There. Just to have something going while this scuffed ass stream continues. Okay. Attempt number 3. Is that broken? It's not broken. Okay. Okie doke. And now that's too far back. Did I move the camera while when this happened too? Okay, it's too far that way. It needs to be this way. Come on, stop. Okay, is it visible again? I don't think so. I think the camera must have moved in the process of all that. So we're gonna do this. This is going well, I think, you know? Think so. I haven't even gotten through my first joke yet. That's pretty cool. Okay, we're a little better. I just need to move it to the right. Alright. Let's start fixing up our marker. You know, y'all can put me on live stream fails. That's fun. Never really been on a subreddit before, but I've seen it. Alright. There we go. There we go. Okay, and I still think I need to move it closer to the ring. Nope, 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 nope. It broke again. It broke again. By the power of Zeus, I will not let this fall a second time. Oh, it's going down, I think. This is not worth the money. No, stop. Stop sliding. Please. Okay, we just gotta be real. Why is it like this? Nope, nope, shit. Okay, so easel plan not working. Oh, I love not having the resources to do this well. Okay, train wreck it is. Okay, this might become a floor stream. This might just become a floor stream. This might be a floor stream. Well, I guess, really quick, if you ever go to Michael's, and you see an easel, and you're looking to get an easel, and you want a good one, don't get this! This ain't it, Chief. This ain't it. Oh, wow. Like, seriously, this is just not a good product in the slightest. Not worth the money. Do I even attempt to put this back on? This might be a floor stream. We're moving to the floor. Moving to the floor. I did not plan on this being a floor stream, but no way, we're gonna move to the floor. To the floor! Ah, please don't break. Okay. Apologies for the tech issues. This is not how I normally work. Okay. You know, I like to move around and be like animated and stuff. Ha 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 ha. Ha. We're doing the best we can. Okay. Oh, that means I gotta move all my papers and stuff off the table. Okay. It's fine. Fine. We can floor stream. Okay. One more move forward. Oh, there's a glare. There's not a glare on this from my perspective, but I know there is one here. Okay. This is it. This is how we're gonna do this. All right, floor stream it is. Don't buy the cheap easel at Michael's. Thanks for still being here, y'all. Just doing my best. Doing my best. Okay, you know what? We didn't need that easel anyway. I could tell a better story sitting down. Recap. Prior to the reckoning, alright? Void Stranger. We open on a shot of a star falling down from the heavens. Crashes into Earth. There's a little light show. Yes, this black dot is a star. It's a black star in the game. It's important, I think. So, we then move into a shot. I'm gonna move the camera just slightly up so it's not just like cutting off the top of my face. I might need to okay. Gray. Alright? You see here, the game opens up after the star. It's her walking in a nondescript outdoor location. She comes along and finds a big, we get a big square hole. You know? And it's like perfectly square. It's huge. It's perfectly square. It shouldn't be there. You know, square holes aren't supposed to exist, right? That's not a thing. But we get this shot of her just being like, not a depresso espresso, honestly. She doesn't look too great. I mean, she looks great. Don't get me wrong. But she's not happy. She's not doing so hot. We're not having a good time here. So she jumps down this hole, and immediately it's like, why would you do that? Why would you just jump down a hole? You know, that's not a thing most people normally do. I don't know how to sit in this situation. I planned to be standing for like 3 hours. This is not the plan. But she jumps into the hole, and immediately I'm hooked. Like, I knew this game would be complicated and meta and lore heavy from the jump, but I didn't know what that lore and stuff is. Seeing this person just immediately jump into a hole, I'm interested. I need to know what the hell's going on. And that's before I stared into the abyss. And then not only did the abyss stare back at me, it laughed and said, "You're going to be here for a very, very long time." I'm going to bring the microphone a little closer. But that's not where we're starting. We are starting. Also, I have another picture I need to... I'm just going to grab these, grab my things, move them over here. You know what? I came prepared. You know what? That's probably true. They probably would. You know what? I came prepared for stream difficulties. Alright? I brought my own red flag. I'm a walking one already. So, I came prepared. I literally spent like 30 minutes last night sewing this. Huzzah. It's not for right now, but it's for a later thing. Okay. So, where we're going to start is the start of Gray's story. Okay? We're not going to start at the beginning of the timeline. We're not going to jump back to Zero Ranger. I don't even know if we'll get into Zero Ranger today. Let's be real. This stream, there's been enough technical difficulties so far that I'm a little bit like, I don't know if I'm gonna have the stamina to get to that point. Not like a yeah, understandable. Not like a matter of contention as far as like physical stamina. It's more of a mental thing for all these hurdles that are happening. So, next image I'm going to struggle to share with you on paper, okay? I'm gonna now pull up the higher quality image. So, we do this. we move right. It's can I rotate 90 degrees? Nope, that's rotate the other way. Yes, okay. There we go. I could have just made this a PowerPoint, but I wanted to do it live. Okay. So, here. This thing. This is the first floor of the game, right? She falls down, lands on that spot, takes 3 damage. Boom, that's the start of the game. So, instead of starting here, I'm gonna do some JoJo poses by accident at this rate. We are instead going to start at... Nope, 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 nope. Here, at this. Holes equal goals. Sure. Okay, we're gonna make this work. So this! That is a very different outfit to what we've seen of Gray in the first few seconds of the story. What happens... This is really hard to position myself, but we're working on it. We open up Gray's story, alright? She walks into this room. It's a it's well-decorated structural building. There's a man with glasses freaking out. There's some guards and knights strewn about, aching and paining over the fact the demon princess is running rampant. You, as Gray, go into this room. I forgot I needed to tape. Okay. You go into that room, and it is completely dark. The curtains are closed. You know, there's like maybe maybe not completely dark, but it's dark enough that, everything's hidden in shadows. Void, even. So I'm gonna just put this up here as just a general, if I need to point to the HUD, or the first, this is, you can't see it right now, but I'm putting this up. This is B001. See, this is why I'd like to, have a job in this industry, because then there are people smarter than me who could be like, hey, why don't we set the stream up a little differently so that things like this don't happen. Also, having money to actually spend on not dollar store level materials would be great. But you enter into the room, it's dark as hell. You need to fix that. So you go, you open up the curtains, you brighten up the room, and there is a lump in the bed, and you go upon it, and it tells you, prepare to die. God, I'm already gonna have to cut out another thing. I should have I was having printer problems that you saw at the start of the stream. So I couldn't really cut things out early, even if I had wanted to. So, which I did. I wanted everything cut out before I'm gonna have to go, at some point, I'm gonna have to go print out another sheet of things. We're gonna get to that. So, you as Gray, go up to this lump, it tells you prepare to die. And then it turns into a fight. It turns into a turn-based fight. There we go. With that, now you'd think that this fight would be fought with, swords and magic or punch. No, it's literally just insults. It's just insults. Like some standout ones are this thing calling Gray Booby Monster. That's a goofy one. Another is, you know what? I really can't think of many of the other ones right now because my brain is going all over the place and I didn't plan to mention. I think Gray calls her an imp at one point, but we go from here. But the battle can go down 3 different ways. You can win just by being halfway decent at turn-based combat, because all you get are check, which just kind of gives you the general concept of the battle. You get defend, which just you defend. You don't take damage that turn. I cut it off in this on this, but you know, the Demon Princess has 9,999 health, and you have 10. So, I mean, you can also lose, and you get different dialogue for that. But one I found out about last night while I was double-checking a bunch of research, you can also just stall and not hit her, and she'll get bored. She just gets bored. She's just having fun. This is all just fun for her. She's just vibing, alright? Alright, so we go, so Gray starts here, and it's revealed, oh god, I already gotta cut out another thing. God, why do I talk so fast? Even though I'm rambling. So it's revealed that, in all reality, that this was just some harmless fun. Well, maybe not harmless. There are a bunch of people outside who are beaten up and aching and paining and groaning. Gray's just built different, I guess. But after the fight, however it goes, it's revealed that, no, it was not a monster. Which, by the way, this image right here, there's some really cool lore stuff being shown that, we'll get to it. It's not really about the princess herself. It's just cool, like, world lore context. I don't need to be... We're scuffed as is. I don't need to make this look fantastic. Okay? This is Lily. That's the princess. There we go. That's the princess. She doesn't bathe. The royal ambiance is really royal in proportions. Jokes aside, Lily's fun. Lily's a fun character. She's basically your princess, your average princess who's like, I don't want to be royal. I don't really want this responsibility. I would rather run off together with Gray and just vibe, just live my life, be adventurous, you know, get that excitement in there. She's rambunctious, she beats up guards, and as we're going to learn in just a second, she also just straight up, like, just tears apart suitors. Because why not, you know? Who wants to get married? Who wants to be forced to get married, you know, for political benefit? Who cares? But this is Lily, Princess Lily. We're gonna put her on the board. I'm gonna move the picture off the screen now. Okay, so we've got, you know, I put the Gray picture, I put, you know, her in more regal attire, which was also something to know. And then the battle. We're gonna put Lily, like, right here, because I'm gonna need to reference Lily a lot. Okay? Hey, we get to do yarn stuff! Murder board time! I do have scissors. How do I open this? Doing it live! Also, I don't know if the microphone's peaking super hard. If it is, my apologies. I really am not at the point where do I just cut the string? I'm gonna be cutting string anyway, it's fine. Okay, there we go. So, first red string of fate. God, my forehead. I did not put on any makeup or style my hair before this, as I would for like a normal performance in person. I really should have just made this a PowerPoint, shouldn't I? But I wanted the live. I wanted it done live. Okay. So so Gray, okay, Gray is Lily's lady in waiting. Okay, if you don't know what a lady in waiting is, go watch, oh, come on, brain. What do you mean stream ruined? What did I do? Is that I didn't dress up more? Anyways, if you don't know what a lady in waiting is, go watch the Apothecary Diaries and, like, enjoy life. No, in serious terms, a lady in waiting is basically just someone who's like an attendant, like a person who's there to care for you specifically. Usually it's a position made by like a higher authority kind of thing. So like here it's a position made by the king. Yeah, no, the delay is real. This is fiber optic internet I'm working with, and the delay is still real. Okay, that was gonna happen from the start, and I don't know what to do. But essentially, they're an attendant, usually appointed by a higher power. In this case, it's the king. Okay, it's the king. Do I need to cut anything else out here? I think we're good for the minute. I'm gonna have to go print more stuff here soon. But so Gray is Lily's lady in waiting. Don't mind me while I write Lily's name. I'm definitely not going to have to write more stuff here just to make it clearer who we're talking about later. Definitely not. This is not foreshadowing whatsoever. Definitely not. I am an educator. Why can I not spell princess? Dear God. I really have lost my marbles, haven't I? Okay. So they're connected by the red string of fate. Because, like I said, Gray is the lady in waiting to Lily. They also basically have a mother-daughter type relationship, and we will come to find out that the queen has been dead for a very long time. This is, I had a plan for this. Like, I have notes, I have notes for this. We're off the rails. I should have expected to be off the rails. I did expect to be off the rails, just not this, not this much. So, I like the relationship. I think, Gray is reserved. She's well-spoken. She's well-kempt. She's just trying to keep things in order. But she's got that playful banter. They clearly care a whole lot about each other. It's definitely a genuine relationship between these two, and it only gets more and more apparent as we go along. But yeah, no, apparently they just roast each other for fun, which, like, my friends do that to me, and I do that to them, so that's pretty cool. That's a cool relationship. Do I need to write? Should I break out another Expo marker? Make another color. I've got like 4. So, from there, we have another cutscene. So we move from this cutscene The only other important thing to mention at this intersection is Lily's just kind of fed up with having to do royal stuff. It's just not really her vibe. It's killing the mood. This is gonna be so messy by the time we're done with it. It's killing the mood, killing the vibe. Okay. Oh God, I need to write better. You'd think, years of learning how to be a teacher, I'd be good at writing on a whiteboard. But I am not. I'm also gonna put Mom. He didn't see. I almost wrote something else. We're just gonna leave it at Mom. Basically, it's basically Gray's mom. She's Mom. Okay. Checking my notes. Okay, so cutscene 1. We've got Lady in Waiting Gray. She, calms everything down. You have your Final Fantasy bite, and they vibe. They're close. Okay. Second cutscene, which, by the way, the reason we're telling this out of order is because in the game, you get these cutscenes as flashbacks. There are these trees. I didn't get a picture of it. I have a green marker. There are trees throughout the game that are like your safe zones, and at them you rest, and then the game closes, and then you open it back up, and it gives you a cutscene. So that's why this is real complicated, because it's not in the order we want it to be. Tree. I swear I'm an artist, guys. Got it. Dream trees. They're not called dream trees. They have an actual name. God, that does not show up. Okay, they have an actual name, but we're not talking about that yet. Okay? Which the fact that they have a name is definitely not ominous. Definitely not one of these. Definitely not one of these. Okay. So second cutscene. Second from there. So we introduced our second main character, Lily. Okay? Second cutscene. It starts off with just like some dialogue between Gray and the King. He's basically pissed at Gray because Lily keeps beating up suitors because the country is weakening after some conflict or whatever dumb stuff. AKA, it's a parent forcing their child to get married. So like, I'm not too peachy keen on this guy right now, if someone did that to me, I'd probably do what Lily did. Actually, I'd probably go beat up the king, and then I'd get arrested and put in jail and die and be murdered horribly. All that. So, King chews her out, and following that, we have a kind of a somber moment, They go. Lily's not at the castle. Gray doesn't really know where she is, so she goes looking for her. And the place she finds Lily I have to cut more things out now, is I'll give you three, I'll give you like a guess or two, you know? What we've talked about so far. Any guesses where you might find a child very not happy with their living parents', you know, decisions for them? Give you a hint. It's sad, kinda. If you guessed grave site, the mom's grave, you'd be correct. Let me grab our high quality image now. Where is it? Which part of, no, come on. Here it is, high quality version. She takes her, not takes her, but Gray finds Lily at her mother's grave. No, it's kind of somber, but Lily's just like, oh, you're here to parrot my dad's, you know, bullshit and all that. And Gray's like, nah, dude. I mean, yeah, I have a job. I have to do my job. But, like, I'm here because I'm your friend and I care about you, which is great. It's more of like a mom relationship. Or between Gray and Lily, Princess Lily, trust me. We're getting there. Between Gray and Princess Lily, it's more of a, it's almost more like a big sister vibe, like a big, like kind of, it's somewhere between mom and older sibling, in a way. But Lily's like, we should just run. And Gray's like, no, I have a job and an obligation to, you know, keep the peace, keep you safe. And we come to learn later, this probably isn't really the king, because I don't think the king's all that smart. I don't think he's all that. I think his fate was sealed. We come to find out that this is more so, you know, kind of as a result of Gray's relationship with the queen, because they knew each other when the queen was not dead. And something I'll mention here is, people, we're not super sure if Gray has, like, memory problems. Which this doesn't really show up in any of the cutscenes, but there are some signs throughout the game where we're not sure if Gray really remembers certain things from before the queen dies. Or at least from before she became Lily's lady-in-waiting. Now, the reason why, I made my notes blurry. Thank you, pencil. I should. It's fine, it's legible. This could be a result of the void, you know, because we come to learn at a couple different points throughout the game that being in the void just straight up causes you to lose your memories. This is definitely not part of it. Probably. But being in the void causes you to lose your memory. But there are there's some signs here and there that people think Gray may have some other form of memory loss, and we'll kind of get into that towards the second section of this. So here, you know, they just have a nice moment, basically saying, "I care about you. I am here for you. I have a job to do, but you know what? I will always be here to be there for you." So we move on from there. Cutscene 3. They are on a trip. They're in a carriage. They're going to another country to go see another suitor for Lily. Hooray. Except, action happens. They get attacked by bandits. I don't have pictures for this, and I'm not going to print any out. But as, Gray steps out of the carriage, and she starts talking to the bandits, and they're talking about it. It's like, prepare to die, lady. What are you gonna do? You're just a lady in waiting, No, Ad, go away. Go away, Ad. Go away. You're ruining the vibe. Suddenly, Gray fucking just throws her hair back, drops her cloak, gets into a fucking fighting stance, and says, I have a choice for what I can do right now. The choice is, do I let you live? And then you end up in another battle, another Final Fantasy battle. Except, instead of it being, Gray versus the bandit, you're the bandit, and Gray's the badass. Gray, the Destroyer, is apparently, essentially, a walking nuclear bomb. Well, okay, I don't think she had any magic. I think she's just brute strength, can break your neck with her fingers. But my god, this music kicks in at such a good time. The music is so good. She just pops in. The fight, literally, unlike the previous one, there's only one way that this can go. And it is Gray counting down from 3 as this bandit just shits himself. And she beats him up. She beats him up. He ends up sitting there and he's like, I'm probably screwed. This is not good for me. Not at all. But he gives up. He's like, alright. I give in. I concede. And Gray's pretty much like, alright, I'm not gonna kill you. But then Lily hops out of the carriage and is like, yeah, I want to see the finishing blow. The bandit's like, alright, you just gave me an out. 2 more bandits drop from the sky and they're prepared to capture Lily. But instead, they get jumped by a new guy. Who is this new guy? Oh god, wait, this isn't in the printout. I gotta go print more stuff. Okay, I'll pull it up and then I'll, while I'm talking, and then I'll go print my other thing. We're gonna have to have like a little mini intermission, where it's not on this picture, is it? It's not. Okay. Don't mind the boobles. Okay. I need to put together another thing. So another guy shows up. Okay. Another guy shows up. He's in armor. He kills the other 2, and I mean kill, like they're dead. He kills the other bandits. The main bandit who's been talking for the most part to Gray and that you play as in the interactive cutscene, man just snaps his fingers and fucking smites him. Lightning strikes this man down and he's dead. Gone. Just eviscerated, okay? I have to resize all these images. Okay, we'll do this here. Real quick, resizing and printing intermission while I talk about this. But Rohan, or Johan, as he is introduced, I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna just do a window capture and I'm gonna zoom in. need to look at the thing that was in the corner there. That was a thing I needed to do. Come on. Okay. Okay. This guy right here. This is so much worse than just taking the time to screen cap it all. Or to resize it all. Okay. We're gonna go back to... No, ad, shut up. Go away, ad. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly resize my images and we'll move on. Okay? Any questions from the audience so far? By the way, I know this has been a very, like, rapid pace of getting this information. Ad, go away. Go away. I need the vibes. Okay. Okay, we got this image. And we got this image. I will probably edit this down into some more digestible clips later on. Okay. We got that guy. And then we got this. Okay, and then this one. And what's this one? This is this. So we can move view. I would show this on stream, but this is just me fumbling the bag. Okay. Which one is the crosswalk? This one. We move this here. Okay. And then I export. We export as another PNG. We do void 2. Okay. So I'm gonna pull this up on stream now. Okay. We need another image source. Head source. Add a new source. And this will be image 2. We don't need this open as a PDF. We don't need that open there. Okay. Here we go. There we go. That guy. That's Rohan. Or Johan. I get his name confused a bit here and there. I almost called him Griffith. And if you understand that reference, you are more well-read than I am. So I'm gonna go print this out, or start the printing process, because I need more images for the board! Shoot, though. Okay. So this is Rohan. You know, he comes in, he murders a couple people, it's fine, whatever. You know, all that cool stuff. Whatever. Man's out here shooting people with lightning, it's fine, you know? Void 2. You know, he just drops in, kills some people, it's fine. Then he walks over to the carriage and is like, "Are you okay, lady?" You know, whatever, all that stuff. She is wooed. You know, this is some knight in shining armor stuff, but if you are even slightly media literate or have heard of, I don't know, Berserk, don't know, I didn't trust him, I'll say that much. Yeah, hopping over stuff again. Here we go. It's printing. We're going. We're moving. We're going. God, what time is it? Oh my god, it's almost 2 already? Wow. I have been scuffed for almost 2 hours. Yeah, almost 2 hours at this point. Okay. So yeah, so that's Rohan, or Johan, whatever. So he shows up, you know, he woos Lily. Lily's into him. I think she just likes people who can kick ass. Gonna be blunt here. Cause she likes kicking ass herself. Which we like. You know, that's good. It's a good characteristic. You know? Because sometimes people need their asses kicked. Not always. Okay. So, from there, we pick up into the next cutscene. It's a little later in the day. They've made it to Johan's castle, because, fun fact, he was the suitor. And instead of having more of a conversation between Lily and Johan, it's Johan confronting Gray with the fact that he knows kind of who she is. And if you didn't like him already like I did, he's kind of into Gray. And this definitely is not... Yeah, not one of those. Beat him up. He doesn't really need more than one picture, but honestly, if I could, I wouldn't put him on the board at all, because I don't like him. I'm gonna put him in the corner, because I don't like him. You can't see him if I put him that low. We're gonna put him right here, bottom corner. I guess we're just gonna let the OST play. I think the OST is just gonna... I think the OST is just gonna play. God, this is gonna be a pain to go back and edit through. It's fine. I'll probably do some stuff in VO, and it'll be fine. Okay, so we've got Johan. I'm gonna mess up his name every time because I don't care enough about him to get his name right. Okay, so cutscene 3, blah blah blah. Cutscene 4. So Johan, afterwards, it's in like a cathedral, or not a cathedral, but it's in like a nice, well-furnished hallway with windows out the outdoors. And it's Johan talking to Gray about like, oh, blah blah blah. I'm courteous because I'm a ruler of this land, and I've been through so much drama, and I've done so much for this kingdom, but it's never enough to just stop there. And you and your achievements as Gray the Destroyer, you're so suave and cool. And you probably were just having fun beating up those guys out there, weren't you? And yeah, she probably was, let's be real. Come on, camera. You're probably just having some fun beating those guys up. And like I said, yeah, it's pretty clear she kind of was. She kind of gets this kind of sheepish grin or whatever. Or not grin, but like kind of guilt almost. She's not really happy about her past. That like at least the parts of it that we know she remembers. She doesn't really want to be Gray the Destroyer. She just wants to be Gray, the lady in waiting. She's here for Lily. She cares about Lily. And for some information we'll get to later, I think she cares a little more than Lily's mom. But listen, I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind at this point. I already did, but all the layers of scuff only made it worse. So we go from there to yeah, he knows who Gray is. Next cutscene. It's Lily giving a damn about hygiene. Which is character development. Because she's into Johan. She's like, I want to look good and smell nice and stuff. And Gray ribs her a little bit. It's like, I thought princesses don't smell. Got her. I asked someone if I should make that, bring that up, and they told me I probably shouldn't, but I did it anyway, because I'm deranged. So, basically the cutscene just tells us she's been exchanging letters with Johan, and he appears at the very end of the cutscene to essentially announce that we're getting married, woo! From there, you'd think we'd go to the wedding, but no, we stopped by in DDR land, and we play a little mini game where Gray teaches Lily how to dance, like ballroom dance, and it's kind of sweet. And Lily's like, well, how did you learn to dance? Aren't you like, badass and all that? Like, how did this happen? And Gray, to her credit, tells her that, hey, I was, kind of in your shoes. I didn't really like the idea of dancing until someone I cared for showed me how to do it. I didn't button a button. Man, I really am just all out of sorts today. But she didn't really like dancing or anything like that until someone she cared about showed her how. That person being Lily's mom. Yeah, I don't think we ever actually see Lily's mom in the game. I had to pop my neck right there. But in essence, we can tell from this interaction that Gray and the Queen had a very tender and warm relationship to one another. In fact, Do I have a picture of this scene? I don't think I do. But throughout the scene, it's like I said, it's DDR, so matching the notes on the screen as they come in rhythm. And it's just, Lily and Gray dancing in the foreground. But in the background, we have two shadows. And on an initial playthrough, you might think, wow, that's just, they probably just took the sprites and grayscaled them and just made it No, it's two different people. From the silhouettes, we can tell that one of them is probably still Gray, maybe a little younger in years and things like that. But the other is definitely not Lily. She's more well endowed. The hairstyle's different. It's her mom. It's Lily's mom. She's the only other character that's kind of even relevant to the scene, so there's a reason why she shows up. But from there, it's just another heartwarming scene. It's just dancing with your mom, who wanted to dance with your other mom. Anyways. So from there, we move on to the night before the wedding. And here's where things get a little more intense. Well, not immediately. Gray is with Lily. Lily's trying on her wedding dress. Just trying to get the pre-wedding jitters out. And as a showing of good faith, Gray, who up to this point in the gameplay and all of the cutscenes has had a locket. A locket. There's this amulet on her chest. She's had this the whole time. And it's revealed that she was given that by the queen. That was given to her by the queen. And now she's giving it to Lily as an important wedding gift. There's something I haven't mentioned about Void Stranger up to this point. Void Stranger has one achievement. One. You get it at the beginning of the game with no context. It is a picture of an amulet, and it is titled A Wedding Gift. This blew my mind, okay? When I got to this point, I lost it. This was so cool. This was so cool to figure out the out of sync nature of everything. To realize that, hey, this locket, this achievement, which by the way, with the way the game works, every time you restart, and I mean die, you die, because there's technically two ways you can restart, right? There is, you run out of lives, which are these little locust idols. Hey, look at that, we're talking about locusts again. Funny. These little locust idols. You run out of those, you die. You talk to... Talk to this guy. He shows up, he's like, I've been watching your progress. It'd be a shame if you stopped here, but you're dead, and you can't undo death. That's not a thing. That's bad. So, hey, you could eat this fruit. You can eat this fruit, and you can keep going. There's no, literature or pop culture, reference here that would make someone like me not eat the fruit and then proceed to play the entire first run of the game without doing that. Now, on the one hand, that's kind of a thing. The game wants you to realize that you shouldn't eat the fruit. But if you eat the fruit, you become voided, and you don't have lives anymore. But you then realize at the end, whoops, I have to start over. I can't actually get an ending. And it's not like start over, like you get to there and you get an ending. No. The game forces you to start over. Like, for real. You don't get a cutscene or anything. Well, there's kind of a cutscene, but you move. And then floor 1, all over again. Start. But where was I? Lost track of thought. But you get to this point where, oh my god, I was talking about the wedding dress, the amulet. Right. Every time you restart the game, you start from floor 1. Not when you eat the fruit, but when you start over. You say, I do not want to eat the fruit, I will start over. Every time you start the game, you start a new run, essentially. You get this achievement. You lose that achievement. Here, think about that for a second. You lose the achievement. You lose the wedding gift when you die. It's a crazy detail. Why am I popping off about this wedding gift? Well, because it's a wedding gift. She gives the amulet to Lily as a sign of good faith, you know, that she cares truly about Lily, and that she wants her to be happy, and that she's basically her mom. It's a mom thing to do. And then that's where the happy gets and the happy gets a little not happy. Because she then confronts Johann. At Lily's mother's grave. And this is where we come to fully, really grip this living piece of shit. This whole marriage, this whole thing has been arranged. Johann has basically been stringing Lily along. Lily doesn't know this. She's genuinely into him. She likes him. She's been infatuated with him. This whole time, Johann and Gray have had an arrangement where Johann would marry Lily, and Gray, well, what Gray gets out of it really is that Lily can be free of the royal responsibilities that she's been trying to get away from for years this whole time. It's not great, and there are some implications here that they've been having some sort of affair this whole time. But Gray really is not feeling good about this. She's not happy about this, because she, again, cares about Lily. Basically her kid. Might as well be her kid, or sister, or something like that. Like, they're family. And she confronts Johann and is like, this has to stop. Nope! Johann is like, I don't really care. My plan was gonna happen either way, revealing himself inadvertently to be a villain and a piece of garbage. Still a piece of garbage. Yeah, he sucks. He's a stereotypical bad guy. He then smites her. Just snaps his fingers, lightning strikes down on the ground, hits Gray, and it immediately ends the cutscene. Now, for a little while into the game, you think, is that why we're here? Did Gray die? What happened? But luckily, no. No, that is not how Gray died. What happens is Gray survives. How? Well, some context clues of the area. Man, this is really hard to show. But this gravestone, in the next cutscene, is destroyed. The implication here being that the gravestone protected her in some way, shape, or form. Maybe it's metal, maybe it's the spirit of the queen. Some way, shape, or form, this statue took the brunt of the blow. Or maybe Gray's just that good. Maybe she's just that strong, you know? She could be just that good. She runs to the castle, and eerily similar to the first cutscene of the game, she finds the castle in disarray. Glasses guy is like, the princess! That put the go save princess! And guards are all beaten up and like, oh god, this is not good. You get out there, and you don't find a dark room, you don't find Lily under the curtains. You find Lily standing on the railing of a balcony. Honestly, had Gray died, I don't think Lily would be alive either. I think she'd be dead. This would be the end. And what she comes to tell us in this moment is that she felt just piercing, gut-wrenching, guttural fear that just pushed her to this point where she just could, like, almost like mindlessly, she could not live with this fear. And it's not clear if this is Johann revealed himself or if just a gut feeling she realized something horrible was about to happen. And as Gray brings her back inside, the sun begins to eclipse. This is a detail you might miss on your first playthrough. I missed it. Thank you, Dr. Brian. You're cool. Also, I know if you watch that video and then you come to this murder board, you're gonna be like, you're going over the same thing in pretty much the same way. I'm not stopping where he stopped. We're gonna keep going. Just want to be clear. I'm not. This is the easiest way to convey this story. We are so not even into it yet. It's not even funny. But you come back inside, and who's there? Johann and his guards. And he's like, you can't get past me. I know you're pretty cool, but my guards are pretty good. You probably can't get past 4 of them and me at the same time. So, you know, you should probably just come quietly. Gray's like, I'm gonna tell the king on your ass. He's like, I already told the king. And he wants you arrested. Now, this king sucks. King sucks. I don't like him. He's a butthead. First of all, this woman was close to your wife. Now, my personal take here is maybe. Hear me out. Maybe Gray and Queen were a little closer than the Queen and the King were. Honestly, other than a scene we'll get to later, I think Gray's probably a better partner. She seems like she actually cares about people and is pretty interested in the well-being of people involved. Whatever. Anyway, maybe there's a little jealousy. Maybe he's just like, alright, fine, I'll kill her, whatever. Lily, being the voice of reason here, is like, don't kill her. I'll do whatever you want. Just leave her alone. Because again, these are 2 people that love each other very much. They don't want to see each other hurt. Gray is here. She's prepared to fight. But in the vein of not wanting to see Lily hurt, she gives in. And Lily gives in the same way. This is not great. But we then move into the next cutscene, where Gray is in the dungeon, and she is saved by Glasses Guy, hopping out of a bucket. This is weird, and we're gonna go over why it's weird later, but for now, it doesn't matter. She gets out. Some of the castle guards come to help her get past Johann's guards, you know, one-on-one, guard versus guard, so that she can leave, run into the cathedral to get to the wedding. But there's a problem. See, when she gets there, there's not a wedding going on. There's a massacre happening. And I don't mean there's bodies on the floor. I mean there's just ash stains and soot on the ground from the impact of the lightning on the ground, on people. Johann's just snapping his fingers, bringing down the power of Zeus on people. Except, Zeus is not really a good metaphor here, because as we'll come to realize, this game pays a lot of homage, has a lot of influence from Dante's Inferno. But it doesn't take its mythology from that perspective. Johann then reveals, after the only person remaining in the cathedral other than himself and Gray when she arrives is Lily. He then arrives, he starts gloating, he gets the "I'm evil" stance. Ha 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 ha, I'm gloating. Ha, I'm so cool and evil. Ah. Okay, that's the cathedral. Now the high quality image. I think it's on this one. Let me double check. Is it this one? No, it's the other one. Yeah. So here. This is the cathedral. And those are all, you know, all the places that people have been murdered. Right? He reveals that he made a contract. That over the, you know, time on the battlefield, he was dying, starving, you know, not doing great. He was approached by the Void Lords. 3 figures, 3 silhouetted figures, and offered a contract where he would give them souls to gain power beyond your wildest imagination. And then they show up. Okay? They show up. Oh, I guess I should red string Johann. I just really don't like him, so I wasn't really thinking of ways to further include him in. Okay? We've got ourselves a red wedding, though. Okay? You know. I'm not writing his name. He sucks. Okay. The Void Lords show up. Specifically, we meet 2, and then a 3rd person, which... Why would I specify that this is not a Void Lord? Because it's not a Void Lord. And when I tell you what their name is, you're going to, well, maybe remember some things I said earlier in the stream, and be like, oh. Whoops. And whoops indeed. Dear viewer, whoops indeed. So we've got our red wedding, you know. The Void Lords come down. The first one, she's pretty playful. She's like, joking around. It's like, you're almost done. You just need one more sacrifice to go. And then you've completed your contract. Okay. I'll just throw her picture up here real quick. I think it's image 2. This one on the right. This is B. And her name is B. Or at least some of it is B. You know that thing I mentioned about people losing their memory slowly in the void? That happens to the lords of the void as well. In fact, almost most to the void lords, because they've been there for so long. Okay. The other Void Lord that I mentioned that is here is her, Sif. Again, that's rings a bell. It raises a flag, if you will. Yes, I did just make this red flag so that I could wave it for red flags. Sue me. B, Sif, and... Well, first, B and Sif show up. And Sif is a lot more, like, to the point, analytical. You see she's got glasses. She wears the glasses for most of the game or whatever. She's pretty much just down to business. Let's get this over with. Meanwhile, Johan's like, why don't you go have some fun with her? And B's like, I'll fight her. And then she turns into a horrific monster. A horrific fly-shaped monster with bent backs and oozing bodies. I did not get a picture of that, but you can imagine it. It's not particularly settling, we'll say. Okay. But you enter another Final Fantasy. Ow, I just stabbed myself on camera. You enter another Final Fantasy style battle at this point. With B. Unlike the previous battles where you had a pretty good opportunity to win, or you are the enemy and you are going to lose, here you are playing as Gray and you are going up against B. But in most playthroughs I've seen, people will eat the fruit. They will eat this bastard's fruit, and they will get voided. And they will get their, well, should have done better, buddy. Well, it's not even that. This game has a lot of things, and a lot of mechanics and subtleties that show you, the player, that it wants you to succeed. It wants you to go deeper, to go to the deepest point of the void, to meet the judges, to get the lore, to understand the point of the story. You are meant to you are meant to be voided. And having been voided once, and then getting back down to the bottom, to then see these cutscenes, because you don't see this cutscene if you're voided. You instead get a little bit of dialogue saying, you have tasted the fruit of the traitor, this malevolent force. Start over. Cleanse yourself. Come back down. And then you do. And you get to this point. And you see this wedding unfold. This terrible circumstance that should never have happened. Cut thingy. And you get here. And instead of having health, like you and every other thing that has been in these combat scenes, been like you in the majority of the game, B has Void 2. When you are voided, I say it's voided, your health, that's why I showed the HUD up here, it says HPO7. When you become voided, your health disappears. It's replaced with the word void. Most likely Void 1. And we see this crop up a couple other times in some other places. What this means is that B is functionally immortal. At least to someone like Gray. In this instance. You cannot win. In fact, B does not attack for a good while. She's having fun, she's bouncing around, she's just, sort of gearing up to then smite you. Just bring you down, beat you down. If you try to attack her, you take damage instead. It's not a lot of damage, but it's enough to know that you cannot beat her. In fact, she does not take damage. Maybe she does, it's just not shown traditionally because she's voided. It doesn't matter. You cannot win. This is a darkest hour. Sure, you regained the courage to come back to save your friend, to save, essentially, your daughter, but against impossible odds, what can you do but give up and beg for Lily to be safe? Well, obviously you get chewed out by Lily, because Lily ain't having that shit. Are you kidding me? The girl who beats up people who are interested in her because she doesn't want to deal with that shit? No! She starts yelling out. It's like, no, Gray, you cannot give up at this point. That's stupid. And Gray's like, Shit, I mean, I really am getting a lecture by a child. I have messed up. I think that actually takes place before you fight B, but it flowed a little nicer with the way I was talking. But after you lose to B, Johann begins bragging. Because of his contract, he will win. He is immortal. He will become the ruler of everything. Tally all style. But then Lily, again, decides no. Void Lords, I will give my soul. I will give up my life, my everything, if Gray can live. And Johann laughs this off. This is stupid. Why would they listen to the wants of a child? Then our third silhouette appears. Blasts through the stained glass. Here, we are introduced to, at the moment, Judge. The Judge is not their full title. Their title is Zero Judge. Now, if you are me, or you're the vast majority of the people I've seen play this game, and you hear this name, it sounds innocuous. It sounds just like a strange name. You can probably pick up on the fact that it is different in naming scheme to the Void Lords, which all have 3 letters of their name. In fact, I'll read a couple. Add was first. Use, second. B, one of the ones that are here, the playful one. Mon. Tan. Gore. Lev. And Sith. And there is another 3-letter name that gets thrown around. Diz. But that's a trick. That's a trick. That's a nasty trick we'll get to later. But Judge doesn't fit that, and neither does Zero Judge. But you get to a certain point in this game, and you realize there's more lore here than what is in this game. I had to be told that this game, one, is not the first by this studio, by this team, but it's not even the first in this story. Zero Judge, conversely to what I just said, is technically not a character in Zero Ranger. Technically. Technically they also are a character, but they're technically not. I'm going to murder something. Not, it's this board. I'm gonna murder this. This board can fit so much murder. Okay. So I'm just gonna, While I continue cutting some things out now. So, Judge appears. Judge, for some reason, perhaps is in charge, or is whatever. The 2 Void Lords that are here listen to Judge. Judge is making the final call. In certain scenarios where the 3 interact, Judge is the literal judge. She takes the place of a judge in certain interactions. It's very straightforward in that way. So it's very curious that she isn't technically a Void Lord at all. Judge appears and tells us that Diz, that other name that's a little weird, the Diz has decided that your devotion, that Lily's devotion, is strong enough to be awarded a contract. Contract of protection for Gray. And Gray is like, hell no, take my soul instead, but Judge isn't happy. Lily, just snap decision, I'm gonna stick to my guns character that she is, jumps on this opportunity. She gives her soul to the judge. She gives it away. And before she disappears, before she is brought to the void, Gray is screaming out, calling out for this to not happen. And the judge tells her, if you want to see her again, meet us at the bottom of the void. Back to the beginning of the very game where we see her jump into this hole, jump into the inky, gut-churning darkness, shadow behind it all, the terror of the night, the nothingness that awaits. Gray came to the void to save Lily after being saved by Lily in the darkest hour. Lily has something to share with Gray before she's sucked away, before she's pulled away by the Void Lords and Judge. Problem is, she's cut off. The Void Lords disappear, the stained glass explodes. We see this, the eclipse. The eclipse is fully here. And it looks like this thing. And the title screen, there is a black orb that's sometimes illuminated in certain ways. It also looks like this, and it looks like that. They are all connected. They are all connected. And it looks like some things in Zero Ranger as well, but we'll talk about that later. For now, the Void Lords are gone. They leave, and Johan's Johan. He's going to continue maniacally laughing. He's going to be excited that he finally gets to achieve his dream that he sadly has to kill Gray. But when he snaps his fingers, nothing happens. B returns momentarily to tell us that Johan didn't finish his contract. He didn't make it in time. The eclipse is here. He's too late. So, the powers that come with his bargain are gone. The sense of pure catharsis as this rat bastard begins whining for Mommy to give me powers back, it's my turn in the Xbox, and then realizing, oh shit, there's a very, very angry woman, just a little bit, over there. Starts begging, pleading with her to leave him be, let bygones be bygones. It's all just one big misunderstanding, and before he can even in one of the slightly more animated parts of the cutscene, Gray socks this man in the jaw, and what made me hop out of my chair to scream, to yell, to call out in excitement, this man is going down! It's great. It's fantastic. But from there, we join back to the beginning of the game. Gray in the void for the first time. And I won't go over a whole lot of what happens in the void specifically, because a lot of that is puzzle, and I'm not gonna spoil the puzzles. I'm a little behind on the taping things because I got more into the voiceover and the storytelling of it all. But we will briefly go over what Gray does in the void. So, when you get into the game, when you get into the void, you are met with, there it is, I lost track of my pictures. You enter the void, and when you go down to the second floor, which the first floor also has a mural. It's some sort of shape. You can't really read text. It does imply that there is some sort of text to be written, but all you see are squares on a grid, on a 6x6 grid. When you get down to the next floor, you see a statue. Its arms outstretched, hair billowing behind it. A pair of large horns upon their head, and an amulet on their chest. Now, first time playthrough, hell, even a third time playthrough. This is a detail I didn't catch. I will be blunt in quickly stating that there are theories that, in some way, shape, or form, this statue somehow represents Gray. And it also represents another figure, which I will get to. Also, I know this stream has been... thought I almost just cut into my fingernail. Oh my god, the sense of unease that caused me. I had a waffle today. We're probably gonna have to do this again. Wholeheartedly, I'm not gonna be able to finish this whole board today. I don't even think I'm gonna get into the second part of the story. I think this is just the first part. I don't know how much more time I have. I thought this was gonna be like 2-3 hours. We've got like 30 minutes. Second floor. This statue, its arms outstretched. Is it on this sheet? I think it's on the other one. While I'm cutting things out still. Its arms. There it is. This. Notice the amulet? Its arms outstretched. People think that this represents Gray, as well as the figure that we will come to find out it represents. You see, at the beginning of every 28 or so floors, because shoots deep. I think the end of the void is technically like 200 something down. It's like 256, something like that. But anyways, in front of this first statue is a chest, a very large chest. It's like a double Minecraft chest, but extra. Within it, we find a rod, a scepter. We come to know as a void rod, or Aggghh's scepter, A-D-D. I'm not necessarily going in full chronological order of information anymore. We're bouncing around a little bit. But, oh shoot, I start good. But, really quickly, because I think I've laid on enough information here to at least insinuate that there's something strange about the Void Lords. I already told you that the Void itself, it has many relations to Dante's Inferno. Someone trailing down into the underworld, passing through sins, levels of sin. But instead of taking this from a Greek or Roman approach, we take this from more Christian-y angle, or a little Catholic, Bible, that thing, that whatever. I'm gonna read to you the full names of the Void Lords, because in that cutscene where the Void Lords are introduced, Gray calls them demons. And B, to her credit, thinks, well, it's not a great representation of what we are, but as far as humans can tell, yeah, could be worse names you could call us. Aggghhh. Which, I will say here, I think people have had the hardest time figuring out the full name out of all of these. Abaddon. Abaddon. As Modi use. E-U-S. Use. Asmodeus. Yes. B. Beelzebub. So, I guess we could write the names here. So B is Beelzebub. So real quick, take a wild guess who Sif is, by the way. If you guessed anything other than Lucifer, you have not been paying attention. Okay. So you've got Abaddon, Asmodeus, Beelzebub, Mammon, Saman is Mammon, Tan, Satan, which, by the way, if you're confused, these are separate people. I know sometimes it's construed that Beelzebub, Satan, and Lucifer in like the Bible and stuff are not the Bible, but like the biblical texts or whatever are the same person. Not really, or at least they're not directly correlated all the time. That's more of like a recency bias thing where we just kind of construe them all together. Some texts do use them interchangeably, but for the most part, if you look back, they're not technically all talking about the same person. So, yes, these are separate. I need to tie my shoes. Then we got Belphegor, G-O-R, Belphegor, Lev, Iathim, and then, like I said, Lucifer. And another reason why Diz is weird, Diz does not have that. Diz is not a demon that you can really apply the word, the phrasing of Diz to. Now, I'm 2.5 hours into this stream. I didn't expect to finish today, but I'm not done yet. I'm probably gonna go till 3, and at this point, because of the confusion and the fact I've had a whiteboard fall on me like 2 or 3 times now, I'm probably not gonna do karaoke tonight. But I am planning to come back and finish this, as well as to get back into the saddle and get things posted here. Okay? We're gonna keep going for now. But I went ahead and just wrote up Beelzebub, Lucifer, and Zero Judge, because we've seen these people so far. The chest that I took my sweet time getting back to, okay? Within it is a scepter, Ad's scepter. There are 2 important things that happen when you get this scepter. Number 1, you gain the ability to pick up tiles, floor, Sokoban, moving tiles. You gain the ability to do the puzzles in the game because of this magic scepter. But notably, in all of the cutscenes that you can move in, and the first floor, and even the second, until you pick up the scepter, you move free-form, free-flowing from any direction. You can move diagonally, you can move however you want, you can move just a smidge, you can go back, you can go as far as you want. The moment you pick up the scepter, you become locked to the tile grid. 1 button press, 1 tile. Now you can slightly change it into the settings, but that's more so just for speed.
This scepter locks your being into grid-like movement. Furthermore, every other creature in the void also moves in step with you. Now, I'm not going to get too big into the puzzle design here, but I just think it's very important to note that that's not just a mechanical thing. That is, in universe, something that happened. Something that is happening in the void. So, you've got your scepter. You begin your trek down into the void, finding leeches that most people misconstrue as snakes, maggots the size of dogs or wolves or something big that a maggot shouldn't be. I'm pretty sure bulls, because they rush, you walk into their line of sight and they just walk all the way in that direction. I'm pretty sure it's a bull. Chest mimics, fantasy chest mimics, I think. They're just sharp toothed mouth that and they follow you in a direction for one space. Some weird 8-sided 3D spinning object thing. Looks kind of like a D8 if you do tabletop games at all. Kind of looks like that. Let's see what else. There are clay golem looking things that if you inspect at a certain point, they appear as you, or at least they appear as Gray in her regal attire, instead of Gray that we play as in ass-kicking mode, essentially. Going down into the void, you come across the tail of the Void Lords, although not really your first time through, or maybe at least not the first portion of your first time through. Throughout Void Stranger, there are a multitude of secret rooms and secrets and skips and all kinds of hidden lore that you're gonna miss. You're gonna miss something. Unless you're using a guide, and even then, half of the guides online are not fully complete, and this game came out a year or two ago. Okay. You eventually come to realize that there are brands, symbols that represent the Void Lords. And at certain intervals of the game, you are given the opportunity to move tiles in a room in order to illuminate that Void Lord. These rooms are always 6 by 6. They're the same as the murals. You probably figured that out in-game. It's not really a puzzle. It's fine. I'm not going to spoil it for you. But there are some that are more complicated. Some that require meta elements. Some that require you to screenshot rooms and go insane trying to figure out how they piece together. I'm going to be real. I had to look that one up. I almost got it. And then I did a couple things in my art program that I should not have done. I will not get into it. But you come across 3 items, and I don't have pictures for these, but we're gonna just draw it. The first, okay? I'm gonna just make a big circle. Items. Okay? You probably can't see it very well. It's fine. First thing you come across in one of these secret Void Lord rooms. A cube. Why is a cube so cool? This cube allows you to interact and read text and gain information from certain NPCs. Which is mind-blowing to think about, because until you get this cube, there are innocuous stage hazards that you think, oh, this is just here as part of it, but no. They have been NPCs the whole time. You just could not understand them. And they are the ones that carry the story of the Void Wolves. These bitches. You first get the cube. The cube is essentially your translation piece. It allows you to read certain murals. Eventually, you can come to read the text yourself. You, the player, me, the person losing my marbles. Crazy person who has stared into the void. Moved through the laughter, the hazing of the void's tendrils. Picking up this information, you can learn to read the text of the void. It is entirely possible. It is a full language. You can read this. But it's going to be a while before you can actually learn it. Or at least learn what it means. The next thing you find that's a secret. It's not really a secret. It's more so just hidden in B's room, in fact. This cube you find is the first one. In fact, it's the easiest one to find because it's the one that gives you information. You almost need to find the cube. If you don't find the cube, you're probably not going to find anything else. Now, the game does set you up with figuring out that the only way that you can enter these rooms is to create the Lord's brand and then pick up the stairs. Because the stairs are a tile. You pick up the stairs and then you fall into the void. And instead of dying, like usual, you fall into the room that you were meant to be. The first one you get is Aggghh's cube. Alright? Picking it up, your mind feels heavy. You've gained unearthly knowledge. The second one are frail, insect-like wings. These are bees' wings. These give you the power to traverse one space of void without falling. This becomes such an incredible gameplay change that, honestly, I am shocked that there are people who get through the first playthrough without these. Oh my god! Magically changes the game. It's so nice. It's so nice to have these. And last, the final hidden object you can find. And I don't remember, yes, I do. I do remember who it is, because to get this third object, you do what's probably your first boss fight. This is a puzzle game where you move tiles. How in the hell do you do a boss fight? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you how. Because the third object is an ornate sword that, to get it, you must pull it from Satan's skull and then fight Satan. Good boss fight, good design, well put together. I was so hyped figuring this out. This is a fun boss. Fun boss. These are the three items. Now, there are other hidden rooms that give you other information or other goodies, but they're not going to give you more physical access to things. Information traversal, a means of slaying foes. You could go through the whole game without these. Without them at all. Insane. These so drastically change your perception of everything that happens in the void that even missing just one could give you a completely different understanding of how this game functions, how it plays, the story at large. But that's not the only thing you encounter in the void before you make it to the bottom. Gray's journey through the void has her encountering the story of the void lords. But you also encounter some characters, some people on your way. You find a nun who's in a room where the only thing else in the room is a leech, slowly encroaching upon her. If you do nothing, it will kill her. You can block its ability to get to her, and then you can speak to her. And she basically tells you that, I don't know how I got here. I was tending to the garden. My, brass tacks, ass-kicking sister, whoever is in charge of the nuns, is going to utterly wring me out like a wet napkin when I get back eventually for being gone for so long and questioning certain things, but I don't know how I got here. Last thing I remember is a square hole in the garden. You then move on. You then later come upon a very just losing it woman. Honestly, same mood. Been there, done that. She's crying her eyes out. She's wearing a wedding dress. You kind of have to finagle it a little bit. You have to give her some space. Let her relax. But eventually she tells you that she is a runaway bride. That it's not really clear as to why she ran away or if she even meant to fully run away from her marriage, but she doesn't know how she got here either. She is incredibly saddened by this, and she wants to go back. She wants to return. But here in the void she is, and she has no understanding of how to escape. She was running from a monster. A monster, you say, but there's monsters everywhere. She was running from an actual snake. I know I said that the leeches some people think are snakes, but there is a reason for that. There is one character whose appearance matches that of a snake. And that, dear viewer, is the character known as Tail. Or, in more familiar terms, why is this weird? Or, in more familiar terms, used as motives. See, throughout Void Stranger, we learn of a tale of the Void Lords. There was a battle that saw to the end of several of the Void Lords. In fact, there's pretty much only two-ish left. Well, this all was kicked off by Hughes as Modius, the judge of sin, or at least the one that, I think some context is that there's an image of a snake-like being wrapping itself around the person to judge them for their sins. That's sort of what Asmodeus' job was as Void Lord. But at one point, she got kind of curious about snake. She was like, it's kind of interesting. I want to try it. And then she does. And then all the other, it causes a major shitstorm. Everything bad that could happen happens. Yeah, but you see Snakey. There's some other things there. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on from that without addressing. Although, actually, no, wait. I am gonna address this really quick. If you be a degenerate in this room, you get called out for it in a secret ending where you get ace attorneyed, and it's so good. These three, Judge, Lucifer is the prosecutor, and B is the defense, who does not give a single shit about her job, period. She just does not care. She's making jokes. You get judged. You get judged very harshly, and I think you can just get murdered. It's kind of funny. Good game design. Good, funny moment. But if you stay and talk with Tail for a little while, she will tell you her story. That Asmodeus essentially got interested, wanted to try what this sin was, and as a result, started a war between the Void Lords. A war that ended with many of them being murdered. Just gone, dead, demolished. Oh, I guess we can go ahead and put this up as well. See, while there are still Void Lords around, and you even encounter some, a lot of them are disfigured in some way as a result of this battle. Some are completely absent, entirely gone, entirely dead. No return in sight. Well, Asmodeus, part of them, managed to escape their fate, their Tail. That's why this character, when we first meet them, is Tail. We do know in that cutscene that they are Yus, but we don't know who Yus is when we first encounter them. By the way, this is Tan, this is Satan. I don't really need to put, you can tell, you can tell. It's rad as hell. It's literally rad as hell. Come on, there we go. So here we go. So she tells us that she managed to escape partially, and the battle caused many deaths. It was bad, just bad all around for everybody, really. On a second playthrough, or if you get lucky, there's another thing that can happen while you're going through the dungeon. This cube lets you get a lot of really important information, such as, well, I mentioned it before, but your lives in this game are locusts. Like little locust idols. This is a very not good image, but these little locust idols. Well, if you have enough of them in certain rooms of the game, an NPC will spawn in those rooms. And he will trade your locust idols, your lives, for information of secret rooms, secret hints. Now, one room eventually will tell you exactly which rooms he appears in, and gives you, if you're me, an aneurysm, because I thought there was a puzzle in it, but it was actually just that secret void text, and I just didn't understand it at the time, but later I was like, oh, I'm just a fool. I'm just a fool. This little ass munch of a dude that shows up is actually one of the Void Lords. What's interesting to note is that this Void Lord is one of the ones that are supposedly, like, dead. Like, not even part of them should remain. Yet, here he is, being a weirdo, creepazoid. Little weirdo man, little baby, little gross-ass Tumblr sexy man, get him gone. Gonna give the Onceler a run for their money. But we don't really get to know who the heck this guy is, and I will pull up the good image for this one. We'll get some parts so we can get off that screen. I think it's the other one. It's the other one. Yeah, here we go. This is him. This is Mammon. Okay? He's there. And he gives us some hints and things as we go along, and we can trade our locusts to you know, whatever. But the fact that you trade your lives for it the reason this cube is so important to this is because the cube tells you a secret that lets you basically triple your ability to collect locusts throughout the dungeon. Like, on a playthrough without the cube, with no knowledge, you're not going to see him. In fact, it's specifically designed that you cannot accidentally run into him if you have not gotten the cube and don't know the information that it can give you, which is chef's kiss. Fantastic design. We love to see it. It's all iterative. You're going to play through this game 700 times and you're going to love it. Now I separate the Void Lords. Specifically, I've separated B, Sith, and Zero Judge from the rest of the Void Lords in part because these three get more story. Although I guess as a result of that, I should lift Mon up a little bit. He has some important stuff. He has some important stuff. We'll get to that. So Mon is just one of the other things you encounter. You can encounter B a couple times throughout throughout the labyrinth as well. If you notice, if you look at the actual logo of Void Stranger, you notice it's a labyrinth. That's on purpose. It's very confusing and complex. So after the bride, you run into an archaeologist, an adventurer. No, she's a thief. She steals the scepter. She steals the scepter, which is not good at all. Like, this is really bad. You have to run through a series of rooms in an attempt to catch up to her without the rod. And your first attempt, probably gonna die. But luckily, as you remember, everything is stuck to the grid. Even losing the scepter does not revert you back to your normal movement, however. You do still have to deal with that grid-based movement, as does the thief. Eventually, you do catch up to her, and you get your rod back, and she's like, I couldn't make it work. No hard feelings, right? You can technically kill her. I did not. I tried not to do that. I felt bad about it. I didn't want to. I just walked around her. But you get your stuff back. Cool. These all still work during that if you have them. Actually, no. Fun fact. You cannot encounter this if you have the sword. There are certain encounters throughout the game that that do not spawn or do not activate, and vice versa, if you have the sword. The cube and the wings do not have this effect. I don't fully understand what this means, but given that the sword is Satan's, and Satan, as far as like the Dante's Inferno representing the sins or whatever, represents wrath, which is why you get a sword, because you get to murder people. So you remember over here when I was like, there's some lore here that's cool? She has one eye. One eye, and he represents wrath, and in that boss fight, she's called the Princess's Wrath. Cool detail. But after the thief, you encounter the Lost Child. The Lost Child is a very different situation, because there's a couple different ways this room can play out. There are statues throughout the game that have mechanical purposes. Some of them don't do anything, they're just there, they're just whatever. Is that true? Wait. No, actually, all of the statues have a mechanical purpose. It's just some of them aren't obvious. All of the statues reference a Void Lord, by the way. So, keep that in mind, too. So, how do we... One of the statues, I think it's Satan. I think is which also goes to show us that in this game, as far as the story of the Void Lords goes, which will be another layer on top of this. Shit, oh my god, something honked outside. Ooh. Following all of the crisis, Satan was run into a fury, a wrath that they could not stop. They did not want to participate in the battle. In fact, they kind of just wanted to be by themselves. Here, we see that these are not just cookie-cutter, flat, what you see is what you get from, like, mythology and Bible and all that stuff. These are actual characters. They take certain aspects from their mythological counterparts, but they are not strictly flat, okay? She didn't really want to participate in any of this. She essentially got whipped into a furious rage to the point where she could not stop herself. And was turned into this. Where essentially killed, then like this half Void Lord killed. Void Lords technically have like, I think layers to dying. It's complicated. But Satan statues that show up throughout the game, what they do is they do not disappear, and usually you can't get rid of them. So there'll be blockades or something. There'll be like a stopgap to prevent you from going somewhere. These statues only disappear when you kill all of the monsters in a room. But it is upon reaching this floor that you realize that's not entirely true. You kill all the monsters. You talk to this child. This child doesn't want to move. She's sitting on the ground. She does not want to move. She does not want to talk to you very much. She is essentially resigned to her fate, and she does not heal. When you kill all of the monsters in this floor, the Tan statues do not disappear. And you are left with a harrowing realization as you speak to the child enough times. Gray will say, I will not. Or, Gray doesn't say this. Throughout the game, Gray does not emote directly, does not speak directly to anyone while she's in the void. She has this in cutscenes, but when she is talking to people throughout the void, it's descriptions of her doing things. So we get the description that Gray tells herself that she will not succumb, that she will not end this child. There are 3 ways you can get past this. Number 1, you can die. If you die, the room does not... If you die, the monsters reset, but the child disappears. 2, you can take advantage of another statue mechanics. There's another statue in the room. These statues taunt you for pretty much the entirety of your playthrough until you reach a certain other floor, which we will get to. These statues, if you die in front of them, it will consume all of your locust statues, but you will move up that many floors, which is very, very, very interesting in some specific situations. Oh gosh golly. That's not the only way you can manipulate what floor you're on, though, and we will get to that. B's statue gives you another way to escape that room without killing the child. And of course, the third way, if you push the child into the abyss, the statue's gone. Now, I really didn't want to do this. I don't know exactly what differences happen depending on if you end this child or not. But suffice to say, I felt bad. I didn't want to do it. Don't like it. From there, there's one more mentionable thing that happens. So I told you that there were clay statues, or like clay golems, that when you talk to them, they appear as you. And for Gray, specifically, they appear as her when she was in her lady-in-waiting attire. There is a room in which you come to an impasse where it is impossible to pass through the clay golem, or to get around the golem, or to kill it. technically it's not. You can actually kill it with the wings, but assuming you don't have the wings, or you are compassionate and don't want to kill, or your reflection, rather, you will talk to them. You can talk to all of them, actually. Most of the time, they just have reused, repeatable dialogue. This time, it is a scene where Gray's reflection speaks to me. It's sort of a pep talk moment. It's almost like hearing a past version of yourself when you are in a moment of dire straits, giving you the reserve, the energy, the care from within enough to continue the journey. This reflection of the past gives Gray a warm smile and tells her, "You must continue. There is someone waiting for you." And with that, you end the clay golem. There is technically one other stage hazard, or one other enemy / hazard that I should mention. There are magic circles on certain tiles that if you walk upon them, they create a shadow version of you that follows in your exact path and footsteps. These are a shadow. The clay golems are a reflection. Now, you can probably talk about the philosophy of what all that means, and honestly, I wish I had more pictures up here, because all things considered, this might be where we're gonna stop at the end of Gray, and then, yeah, I'm gonna come back to this. I'm gonna finish this murder board, but it won't be fully done today. You continue on. You press on through your journey. You do not give up. You make it through. And eventually you come to one more important NPC, and I realize I do not have an image of them, and they are very important, and they should... There's another Void Lord. I will have that for next time. You run into Gore. Belphegor. Specifically, you run into Belphegor's head, because they've been decapitated, but their head is still alive, and they want to die. If you have the sword, she's ecstatic. She's like, cool, I can finally stop existing. Void Lords don't really have our human understanding of death and life. They don't really... It's not as meaningful to them. And while they do try to hold some candors and things, they are fundamentally not human. They do not exist on the same rules, understandings, emotional situations. But there are points of humanity within, I think, all of them, in whether the lore or your interactions with them. You can't find it. It's there. If you do not have the sword, she is sad and tells you that you should go find her sister, Tan, which clues us into another thing. Apart from Zero Judge, who we have established is not a Void Lord, all of the Void Lords are related, kind of. These two are, like, the most, like, sisterly sisters of them all, apart from Tan and Gore, which is funny, because Gore is missing their other eye, and their statues reflect this. It's a fun detail. They're reflections of each other. It's fun. I mean, not fun to be missing an eye and to be headless and to be basically on the verge of death and not actually dying until someone strikes you down. But you get the idea. They are all related in some way, shape, or form. I don't know the specifics. I don't think it's like a blood relation thing. I think it's just like they were all brought into existence by the same thing at the same time. So they have a sort of familial bond, most of them. This is really interesting now, because familial bonds are pretty imperative to the whole plot of the game. We see some of them reflected in the Void Lords here and there. If you do not have the sword, like I said, she tells you to go find Tan and come back and kill her. Now, this is a section that I know about that I'm planning to go through, but I myself have not done yet. If, on one single run, you get to her without the sword, you talk to her, she tells you two things. One, she tells you about Ton, and then she tells you about how Beast statues work. So if you have the sword up to that point, and you don't know how Beast statues work, like I did, you're kind of screwed. It's gonna be a while before you figure out how those work. Sorry. But a mechanic later on gives you the ability to start. Actually, not even later on. I've already told you that if you become voided, you start the game over. But not fully. A single memory, a strained memory, remains. Sif statues. Four-eyed, shadowy figures that follow you throughout the entirety of the game. When you try to communicate or get any information from the statue, you just get an ellipsis. But at the end of a voided run, you come to a single floor with 4 tiles, Sif's statue on the top, and beneath it, the stairs. Now, on a first time reaching this point, you're not going to think to push the statue away. Why would that be important? Because when you step upon the stairs, when they are before Sif's statue, you are brought back to floor 1, but it is still the same run. Your actions still exist and have occurred. When you reach certain NPCs, they are no longer there, just as if you were to have died on their floors. When you reach Tail for the second time, she has been told not to talk to you, because you have done this. You have broken the rules. You have returned to floor 1. By this point, you have probably also figured out the other way to manipulate the rooms you're in. I don't have a picture of one of the rooms yet, but in all of the rooms with these trees, and other rooms too, don't think that they're the only ones. These are just the ones you're probably going to figure it out in, because it's the easiest to do so. In these floors, with the trees, there is only a straight line of path, of tiles, and one tile before the tree, and then your HUD. It is at these rooms that most people will eventually figure out, or be told by some information by having the cube, or talking to Mon, that the HUD in and of itself is a set of tiles that you can manipulate. On that HUD are these items. Your locust idols, the value next to your locust idols, your health, as I mentioned earlier, and the floor number. Messing with the last 2 digits of the floor number, you can replace it with the number of idols you have or your health. If you are to try and pick up the tile that says B, as in like basement, or another word we learn later. Another word we learn later. You pick that up and the whole system bugs out. I mean system. You get like errors on the screen. And then the entire world goes black apart from these errors. I'm not going to get into this just yet, but I want you to be fully aware of it. The meta puzzles, they are a coming. And they are hard to understand. And they make things more complicated because we've been talking about medieval shit. And I just told you there's like computer system stuff we're gonna get to. But if you reach Gore the second time in the same run, having now gotten the sword, you are met with B, who tells you they killed Gore. No, not that they killed Gore, but they moved their head. And then you're not gonna find them. Well, you eventually come to a hole in the next floor that's got stink lines. It's stinky. That brings you to an entire other section that is a gauntlet of other puzzles that you can totally miss Yet we'll give you a different ending, I believe. Or, as well as a lot of lore. Full transparency here, I have not done this yet. This is something I plan to do in my next run. In fact, my current run. I did another couple runs while prepping for this stream. I cannot really give you much more information on this part. This is an opportunity for you to go figure it out for yourself, or to see it for yourself, but I'm going to do it for me. And then next time you come here, we'll probably talk about it. But once you finally make it to the end of the void, for realist, no longer voided yourself, you are met with judgment. You are met with B, Sif, and Judge in high-seated arrangement to properly show you that they are, in fact, a court of sorts. They tell you that, depending on like your actions, usually you'll get to this. That you have proven your devotion. Diz will offer you a contract. What is it that you desire? Of course, Gray says she wants Lily back. She wants to save this person she cares about so much. The Void Lord says, okay, you may bring back one soul. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, sweet, sweet Jesus. Red flag, super, super red flag. Now, if you've never played the game, your immediate thought hearing this is like, oh, does that mean Gray can't come back to the land of the living? No. It's so much worse. Zero Judge Zero Judge or Sif, one of them, informs us and Gray that a zygote has become a blastocyst inside of Lily. If you passed middle school or high school bio, she's pregnant. That rat munching asshat did the nasty and still went on a murderous rampage. This is so gross. But it's so cool he got fucking punched in the face really hard. Cool. Cool. What the hell does this mean? Gray is told she can only take one soul back. Now, I'm not gonna get into like a weird debate or whatever, politics and stuff. I think our government is being dumb and all that. I support women's rights and bodily autonomy and all that, but in the purposes of this game, specifically, this is all weird magic shit. The baby technically, it's developed enough to have a soul, to be considered a soul by whatever this judge is. And we are not immediately told what Gray decides. She asks to see Lily, and then roll credits. We don't see her actually talk to Lily. We don't see her. Lily is in a stasis of sorts. Were Lily to be taken, she would essentially think of this as a memory. Were the baby to be taken, Lily would just remain here in stasis, in a purgatory state almost. Unflinching to the world, or to the otherworldly situation around her. The credits play, and we see Lily cradled in a ball of light, sparkles flying around her, until slowly we get the title card, Void Stranger Gray, the sparkle flying around. The sparkle came from her womb. It flies up, and when it lands on Gray's name in the title card, we are hit with possibly one of the most... Huh? What? My brain is gone. It's been melted moments I've had in a while in enjoying media of any sort. Video game, movie, etc. Because what we are left with is Gray with a shocked expression in a place she does not recognize. A place that we can recognize. Or, well, recognize the general sense of. The scene cuts to an image of a traffic light. I just cut one of the pictures. Gosh darn, I'm a fool. Ruin the dramatic tension. Gray has been brought to the modern world. Come on. That's the other picture. Gray is brought to the modern world. Notice, Lily is not there. Where I will leave you at the end of this stream is the knowledge that Gray took the unborn fetus instead of Lily. The one she's fought so hard to save. She is stranded in the modern day and told by the Void Lords that as part of her contract, she may never return to the Void again. And that is where maybe a third or fourth of the game concludes, because, psych! That's not the end of the game. That's not even close. You haven't figured out even a fraction of the lore yet. You don't know what you're doing. You think this is over? No! Of course not! You should have figured that out the moment the title screen at the very first cutscene said Void Stranger and then a name. This is Act 1, as Dr. Brian puts it. I thought I'd make it through Act 3. I thought I'd get all the way to 3. Today, it's been 3.5 hours. That's not happening. We're gonna have to come back. I will leave you with this. I'm gonna touch up some of the murder board when I'm not having massive technical difficulties, like a shitty, cheap-ass easel that broke on me. It's actually not broken. It's just, I was told to get the wrong easel by the guy at Michael's. In the off chance the guy at Michael's sees this, I'm not actually mad at you. You probably just did. I mean, I told you I got a really heavy whiteboard, but you probably just didn't. It's fine. But it's fine. I'm just exaggerating for comedic effect. So, just quick little summary of everything we've talked about. Gray the Destroyer becomes... maybe. I mean, I have, like, the stamina. I think I could do another 7 hours. I'm gonna be totally real. But I clearly need more prep. I need to break this off somehow. But thank you for the encouragement to do so for 7 hours. So we have Gray the Destroyer, Gray the lady-in-waiting to Lily, who may as well be her kid or younger sibling. Gray, who more than likely is very attached to the queen who passed when Lily was young. They have a very fun, bantery, jokey, roast each other relationship. It's great. Shit happens. Meet Dirtbag McGee Johan, who's like, "Oh, we'll sweep you off your feet, man." And it turns out he's just he's the guy from Berserk. He's the bad guy from Berserk. He's a bad guy. He wants to just kill everybody for power. It's straightforward. His plan almost goes off without a hitch. Lily's great. She's like, "Man, I really like Gray. Don't die. I'll make a contract with I guess the devil, basically." See, for all of the, demon imagery that I've mentioned here, and I've told you that, like, you've seen this. This is a snake lady, and this shit, and the fact that I told you this one turned into a really messed up looking creature. They don't really feel like biblical demons. And especially when we move from the medieval ages to modern day, after I told you that there is a system that you can manipulate and that it is actually important. Is complicated. Is a lot. Is so much. We are not even at like the tip of the ice. This is like you made a snow cone with the shavings from the tip of the iceberg. Okay, I could go on so much more, but I want to make sure this is good, visible content. Okay, I'm gonna come back to this with maybe a better visible marker and a couple other things, and then I'm gonna revamp some of the pictures and stuff. So it'll be here next time. But you go on a journey into the void. You reach its deepest sanctum, its most visceral places, and you leave unfulfilled. You leave with a hole where you wanted satisfaction. Next time, hopefully, it will not be a floor stream. It will be a standing one. Either I need to get a new easel, because I can't take that one back because it's been mutilated. Or I reinforce it with like some 2x4 or something and make it actually function. Or maybe I just need to drill some extra nails or something into it. Maybe that'd do it. I don't know. Honestly, actually, nails probably would do it, because it's just they have one point of contact. And anyways, bad easel design. Next time, we will enter the void again. Also, I am super interested in comments and things like that, and obviously I know the people watching are probably just friends of mine or family or whatever, whatever. If you have questions about this that you don't understand, that you want to ask, feel free. I will answer in the comments. And then if you're someone here who like knows your shit, knows things going on, if I messed something up, please correct me. Please do that. Please do that, very much so. Last thing I will mention is, like I said a couple times throughout the stream, I'm working on a video essay. I want it to be done so bad. But I think because it's clearly proven that it's going to take a while, I am going to go ahead and roll out some music. I am going to go ahead and do some art for that and things, and get it out there. I want to do music. I didn't stop doing music just to do this crazy shit. But yeah. So thank you so much for watching, especially the people who are actually here live. Like, I know you're here pretty much just because you're my friends, not so much that you care about the topic, but like, thank you. All right. It means a lot that you have been here and that you would care to listen to my incessant, crazed ramblings for over 3 hours. wild. I am happy, though, when I have working equipment, when I have things functioning, when I have all of the bells and whistles of streaming, I know I can do it. I feel good about it. I don't feel tired. I don't feel overwhelmed. I don't feel like, there's too much. This is the audience. Like, I'm a showman. I'm a performer. I'm here for that. So I just want to make people have fun. I just want it to be fun, and I want to discuss cool learning shit. I'm a teacher. I use whiteboards a lot and teach things. So if you are curious as to what the video essay is, I think I've mentioned it in a couple places, but I will leave you with the title, the working title. It will be called Genre Drift Generation and Why Magical Boys Are Hella Gay. I really did just scream that in a neighborhood with some very interesting people in it. And the walls here are not thin. So hopefully I don't get murdered. You guys have a great one. I've been ChangerHero, signing out.